Webb, and I'm here at Magic Light Studios, and today I want to talk to you about instructions for Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga is known as forceful yoga because of all of the postures you get into, and it really increases circulation, stamina, flexibility. It helps you relieve stress, and it helps your body become more flexible. So some of the instructions for Hatha Yoga, you want to make sure you have a nice mat. For a long time, I had a mat that was too small for me, and my feet were sliding off the back, and my hands were sliding off the front, and it was just no good. So you want to make sure that you have a nice, good mat. A mat like this one, it's actually really grippy. You know, it's really grippy on the bottom. You want to have a mat that's really grippy. Some of the cheaper mats that cost like $8, they don't have good grip and you're sliding. You don't want mats where your hands should stop. If your hand slides, like I made my hand slide, but if the mat is really slick and your hand slides, it's really not a good mat. You actually really could hurt yourself. So you want to make sure you got a good grippy mat. It's really good and grippy. And you also want to make sure, if you're a beginner and if you really want to push yourself, you really want to make sure you grab a block. You can get a wooden block, usually online or at a yoga studio. They also have straps you can use. It's also good to use straps. And when you're getting into the Hatha Yoga, the biggest thing you want to make sure you do is breathe. In through your nose, out through your nose, which is Ujjayi breathing, or you can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Whatever your instructor tells you to do, make sure you're breathing into each pose. So normally you're going to inhale as you lift up and exhale as you go down. You're going to inhale up and you're going to exhale as you press back. And if you just remember inhale up, exhale down, it's going to get you through a lot of your poses and how you should breathe. Sometimes it changes up depending on what you're doing, but that's the general rule of thumb. So you want to make sure you're breathing well. You want to make sure you got a good mat. You want to make sure you have great props. And you also want to make sure that when you're doing your yoga practice that you really try to not think about other things. So don't think about where you're going after. Don't think about the fight you had last night. Only focus on your breathing. Focus on your breathing. Focus on your posture alignment. And that is taking you through your own meditation. And when you're deciding to push yourself, breathe into it. If you really want to push yourself, don't just force yourself. Don't stop breathing. Breathe into the pose and then go to the next pose. One of the biggest things I try to tell people when they're doing Hatha Yoga is just pretend like they're running a race. And if they want to win, they got to run a little harder. But if you run too fast, you'll get tired before the finish line. So you want to push, you don't want to push yourself too much, so just kind of ease into it. And if you get done with the whole Hatha Yoga class and you still have energy, you know next time you can push more. But if you get through and you can't get through because you push too hard, you know you need to back off a little bit. So really listen to your body and go with the flow. The easier you are, you'll be surprised how much you improve the next day because your muscles have to have time to recover. So you want to also make sure in your yoga class, at least do anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes with a quick yoga session. Any type of stretching is always good for your body, but especially if you want to go into the more advanced poses, sometimes you need a little more opening up of the hips. So 10 or 20 minutes is better than if you're just getting your stretch for the day. Make sure you're warming up great before you're doing your poses. And I just really hope you have a great practice, and the way you have a great practice is really focus on your breathing and focus on really centering yourself. Not on the poses, but more on the breath and the posture. And that is the instructions for Hatha Yoga.